Have you seen TikToks like this recently? Here are the signs. References to feminine energy, being a stay-at-home wife or girlfriend, and living the soft life. You've probably already seen TikToks of a young creator in her early 20s who lives as a stay-at-home girlfriend for her crypto scamming boyfriend. I'm not going to mention that creator by name or put up her account because I don't want to drive traffic to it. To me, it seems very clear that that account in particular is trying to monopolize on the controversy that the term stay-at-home girlfriend is stirring up. I want to focus on where it comes from and where it leads, which is the soft life, stay-at-home girlfriend, modern feminism is a scam pipeline. A couple of different parts to this, and I want to start with the idea of divine feminine or masculine energy. This is important to identify because it's an assumption that's made by a lot of the creators involved in this trend, which is what we call gender metaphysics. Don't be scared by the word metaphysics, we can also call this gender essentialism, and I'm going to explain what it means. Gender metaphysics is the idea that there are some inherent natural qualities to gender. There are natural spheres in which men are most comfortable and women are most comfortable, and that it has nothing to do with our social conditions or social relations, but some kind of biological predetermined essence of the genders. I've heard the other idea that gender is a social construct, and I think that phrasing has led to some confusion. Here I would say that gender is both a product and a producer of social conditions, rather than a social construct or an energy or biological predetermination. So what does that mean? On the one hand, unlike sex or sexual dimorphism, which is what we experience as human beings, gender describes the social conditions under which we organize our society according to the differences that we perceive based on sex. But because we rarely actually know the biological sex of another person just by looking at them, even though you might think that you can, really what we work with in society is the social condition of gender. I'm using the word social condition instead of social construct because I think construct implies that it's fake or made up. Condition emphasizes the material consequences around gender. So why do they say that modern feminism is a scam? It's interesting because their arguments actually revolve around labor. They'll often argue that modern feminism, which they trace back to second wave feminism of the 1960s, has just made women work, which they don't want to do. This ignores the decades or centuries of women of color and poor women who worked for wages before the 60s. But it also ignores that if you're a stay-at-home wife or mom, you're still doing labor. It's just unpaid, or it's in exchange for goods that you have no control over and are determined by your husband. The most important takeaway is the problem they identify is an issue of capitalism, not a failure of feminism. This is because capitalism does not financially compensate the work that women do in the home, which Marxists call social reproductive labor. A rising cost of living alongside stagnating wages as the result of neoliberalism and the decline of organized labor has meant that since the 1960s, households have needed to have two incomes in order to survive.